Hi guys, so today we have Gaurav Ganjar here. So
Hi Akshay, how are you?
hi, I'm good. We also have Ajay here.
Hi.
So Ajay and Gaurav are from the Climate Studies department. They are doing their PhD in IIT Bombay. So uh, Ajay, do you have any specific topics that you would like to discuss today here?
I don't have a specific topic, but if we take our discussion to
What were we discussing the other day? We were discussing about novelty and our work, the research that we do. Are we actually creating novelty for the sake of
how
doing research?
we are what, addressing the problem, and
Mhm.
there are we have actual problems, or we are framing problem and then providing solutions to reach publication, money, whatever.
Mhm.
It depends on how people are like looking research for the climate particularly, because there are lots of different things are going on, like pharmaceutical research, natural sciences research, many, but the climate research globally discussed more because politicians, the global leaders are
How
involved.
important is this term novelty? Is novelty really important in research?
So the definition of like two things earlier we were discussing, awareness and knowledge. So knowledge needs novelty. Awareness does not need novelty. Awareness means you are knowing about the knowledge. But knowledge is what we know is the past. But what we are like as a human development, the development of human race, we are generating more knowledge to understand the processes, understanding why this is happening, why the answer of why is the knowledge.
But isn't awareness a process of transferring the knowledge? So
It's transferring to the other. Like novelty is responsibility of an researcher, but awareness is a need or it's a requirement for all people.
Do you think
All
like
people do not need to be
in any
knowledgeable.
particular field there will be some saturation point after which to bring the novelty will be very difficult?
true.
Yeah.
I
And
understand the same question.
I sometimes believe like I do my research in agriculture abroad,
Uh-huh.
and around the globe we have thousands of papers
True.
based on this. And can you imagine like each of this paper come up with a novel idea? Then how is it going to be like?
And
you know,
it's even a
very
question.
difficult.
So first thing, like novelty is not in the criteria of publication. Like novelty or not always lies in the journals, like volume, like 5 volumes of journals. These are 5 volumes of novelty. Novelty is not always recorded in the terms of paper. There are other novelties are there. So first we have to understand what is novelty and why novelty is required.
Yeah.
Novelty is required to generate knowledge or to solve problem.
Two things
to-
are there. Yeah.
Why we need
So-
novelty.
So
Okay,
that-
yes, it's
so
a
I-
very important point. Like, if the existing knowledge is good enough to solve a particular kind of problem, then you may not need to go towards again finding something, another thing,
Yeah.
just for the name of the novelty, right?
For
True.
iPhone, if you buy for iPad, we have different versions.
Yeah.
So for the pencil is already developed. Battery improvement can be there or some more performance, but at least for the shape of the pencil, everything is like stable.
It has
We
to
don't
be.
need to be more like novelty.
More R&D is
It's not required.
is
It's a
not
pencil.
required for the
Battery
pencil.
improvement something else.
Yeah.
But it's like.
But in the
saturated.
technology part, in the iPad, like
But
the
we
Vision
can
Pro
provide
is now
new
out.
True. I mean, there is a huge difference here because when we try to translate this to academia, things are different because here there is always peer pressure to publish, right? And when you consider about the market, the industry which produces maybe goods or electronics or iPad or anything for that matter, they don't have the pressure to publish. If the product is good and if the consumer base is happy with that, then that is the growth essentially, right? And people are satisfied with that. But that is not what happens in academia. So if we have a problem and the problem doesn't actually need research, but you already have the solutions, but it's because of some problems in the in the
Implementation.
Yes, exactly. So then how relevant is research, or do we directly, can we implement the solutions which we already have? So this is the question. I think this is the elephant
This is
in the room.
elephant,
We
but
have to
address
so
the
address
elephant
the
in the
elephant in the room. True.
Remind this thing that there's a gap between research society and there's the level of development in research and level of development in implementation. So that's why we always discuss about why interdisciplinary is required to bridge the knowledge gap. Why there is a gap? Because the science is going very fastly. The implementation is not. So there is a gap. So the solutions are there in the labs, but not in the land. So if someone is making some kind of knowledge which is helping the current or the fast growing knowledge to provide it to the most vulnerable communities which required it in the earlier phases, there are different kind of development. People like here some people are saturated in development, they can stably live that, but not all people.
Yeah.
So this is equity terms come. Then for research, serving the solution of the research, we need equity as a major consideration. So this is one of the research gap if we'll do. But for scientific development, we are going very speedily. And, we have.
So means like we do have done lot of research, but it's solution oriented research. You're saying like it's written somewhere, but nobody is implementing.
True.
So
Last,
more people
10
should
years.
come up to take this already done research and start implementing it, so that the society can get benefit from that, right?
I have a specific question to both of you guys because you are from climate science, so I mean climate studies, and it's an interdisciplinary program. And I am from the civil engineering background, so we know the narratives of carbon emissions and warmings and what happens in the coming decades, right? Things can be very catastrophic, and all like when we extrapolate into the future, things are changing around. So isn't it hard time that we focus on solutions, or like how can we leverage the liberty of doing research for a long time? Like where are we currently? So do you have any perspectives to share on that? Like when should we start acting? Is it too late?
So
It's already late.
already late.
It's already late.
It's already late, but the direction and the rapidly the what is the speed of solutions. Like we are finding the solution. We are not implementing solution
Implementation
speedily.
of the solution
So
has
the
to
speed
up.
Speed up.
Already done research. The people should go and find the solution in that, and then, start something.
Yeah, so
I believe like the startups and how the people are thinking. It's also important to bring this from the primary education.
True.
Right. Because if I take the example of most of my friends who are in now corporate, they are earning good amount of money. Like they are enjoying their life, right? They are having air conditioning, everything they have. So why they will care about the climate, right? They know, they just read an article. Every day we are reading some article in the newspaper. This thing happened because of the climate change. But are they actually, people are scared of that? What do you
by the
I don't
your
think-
research you want to make
True,
people
true.
scary that the world is
I
going
just
to
want
end.
to hear
No,
from
I'm
your
not
guys.
saying that.
Be
I'm
aware.
just-
The world is going to end.
you have to be little bit scared about the thing, so that the scariness is to bring some more sense of
Rapid action.
This is-
action.
Yeah.
What makes the climate research different than the
It's
other
very different.
research?
It's very different from other research.
Yeah.
The first and foremost thing is climate is an area where the research booms. I mean, if you consider our departments,
Look into the domains we have.
lots of papers,
We
papers.
have atmospheric science coming in.
True.
We have this chemistry
Adaptation.
people, aerosol people,
Aerosol, true.
and then hydrologists are there, oceanographers are there, like
True.
So many
Ocean
fields,
scientists,
ocean
engineers
scientists,
are there.
yeah.
Yeah.
a lot of
Ecologists are there.
and when you
Social
meet
scientists.
someone from those who are working on carbon sequestration, what they are doing, they're far apart. So they are all working for the mitigation.
But aren't
right?
there mechanisms to bridge this? Because I've seen maybe videos from Columbia or MIT for that matter. So they have a really good interdisciplinary program there where people are actually connected. It's
Yeah,
like a
so
solution in
that's
carbon
what we are also
sequestration.
having.
Right direction there,
Yeah.
the environment is needed, first
Yes.
thing. And second, people should talk more, people should open for their research, their ongoing research. They will open,
Yeah.
they share their ideas, they
Sharing
open
is
to
the
get,
sharing is
most
the most
important thing.
open to
which,
criticize. Like
Oh.
if, for example, some
it's a very big
It's
topic.
like
Yeah,
I have a term for this. It's the WRF dilemma, I call it. It's very hard to get at times access to maybe some softwares,
software.
which I feel is
This
something
also
has to be
think
really
about
worked
climate
on.
research capitalism. You need more resources.
Climate research capitalism. So
The moment I started my research in climate science, anyone whomsoever I am meeting, I am discussing what I am finding
That's a great thing,
and
yeah.
whatever I have done. Even the person do not understand this, he can give me some insight.
Mhm.
You know,
No, it
from the
was
local
also-
perspective, like agriculture, I am doing a study about agriculture abroad, sitting in the lab, air conditioned lab. I do not have any ground reality about like what the farmer is actually facing in the
Same,
summer, right?
same, yeah, it's
We are playing with lots of data.
Data analysis.
But yeah, but what actually in the ground zero is happening, I do not have that exposure.
Sure.
So when I go to my home, when I visit any of the village, I try to interact with the farmers as well. So in this way also, you know, you get a lot of things. And so I believe sharing is really important. Even in the research, when you are working on a new methodology also, it is very important to share with your friends who are also doing the same kind of work, because they have also gained a lot of knowledge which actually can help to improve that methodology further, right?
I mean, Gaurav has put a great perspective here. It's more
Nice
of like
context.
education is not limited to technical knowledge or what we do in a room sitting in
Skills.
front of.
Yeah.
It's more
The
of like
soft skills of research. you can
true.
say.
It's more of like anyone can educate you.
Yeah,
You have to discuss and you have to have that willingness to learn from people
Yeah.
and have that exploratory mindset so that you can
This
actually
is what,
learn from people.
No, researcher's mind should be always open to look and observe things.
True,
like
true,
how,
true, true.
Newton found this idea of gravity. He was not sitting in the lab or somewhere. He was in the ground somewhere.
Yeah, it's a
when apple
thought-provoking
falls. He's like,
idea.
why? Everyone
why?
is falling, but so why?
But there's a huge difference. I mean, the Newton's idea was never created.
Huh.
And we started this with its novelty created. So at some point, to some level, are we working on problems which are actually created, or are they existing currently?
No.
And this is something we have to discuss in the next section.
Newton's research is not the solution oriented. He want to understand
True.
the process.
Yes.
Understand
He is
the
not
process.
solving any problem. He
Yeah.
not thinking that we need to
And he
send a
never claimed that also.
rocket, or we need to not understand this planetary motion. He was thinking why some mathematical problem he was working, and he is not working for solutions. Like if we understand the problem of motion of some planets, it will not make any solution in common people's life. But in climate, it makes.
Yeah.
So this is the difference. So climate is not all about research. Research is have a very good term, and research creates knowledge. But climate is not only the creating knowledge but publishing paper. Then we have to it is more responsible research than any research. Like similar kind of pharmaceutical or biological research. If you are making some medicine for cancer, some solution or some treatment procedure,
Yeah.
and you have to, after the research complete, you have to go for the human trials, which is very long, which is very tough for scientists, for everyone. Then after it will pass, and again it will not pass, then they again go to lab.
Yeah.
It takes time, it takes more effort. In that process, you will not get any money or maybe any recognition papers. But people do, because whatever they found in lab, if they want to translate into solution, they have to spend more time. They have to.
It's an iterative process.
Iterative
you were
process.
saying.
And
Yeah,
then,
true.
if this will be accepted by somebody or something, then people are start to benefit to a long time. Lots of questions needed. For climate, we do found that there is a vulnerable place there, and we need to make some policy for particular this problem. What we publish the paper, then do we translate our solutions, our data to the certain body who is taking there? Then these are getting
Yeah,
feedback
so
from
It's
them.
like are we making sure that the research that we did in the lab is it actually making an impact on the field, or are we stopping when the paper is published? Like, are we stopping? Are we coming to a
So,
What is
standstill?
the M?
The IPCC,
Send the report.
yeah, the
IPCC
IPCC, what they do, they take all the research,
Mhm.
what
Right.
in a
Synthesize
particular
it.
domain related to climate, and then what they do, they condense that and synthesize that, and then
Make a
create the
report.
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 So whatever
Knowledge
research we are doing, so somehow like this body is taking that research.
Mhm.
So it is somehow like it is not like completely going just
IPCC will not
publishing.
solve your flood or drought problem in a country.
Yeah.
That's true. It gives
If
perspective.
knowledge problem
Huh.
is there. If you need any knowledge how to do, then refer to the particular report, some body or some solution. But for implementation, we need different kind of bodies who are working. Actually, people are the climate narrative comes before 1995.
Yeah, it's been
R.K.
yeah.
Pachori started this thing. Before that, people are working for flood. Like most of the flood solutions, we have these dams and embankment are constructed
But that
after
time,
the independence.
These
So-
problems were there in Baghdad, like drought, famine, and flood, cyclones. It was happening. But what happened? Like the frequency and the catastrophiness of this thing
this is
changed, right?
not
With the climate, it
True,
started
true.
like.
But
so
flood is
that's
like
why-
what I was telling earlier. The flood and drought are the processes which we are facing before
Yes.
since a long time. Okay, we evolve with it. We develop some solution. Like if some flood is there, we make some dam or some embankment. There is no relation. Like for that, we don't need the climate. Climate research is telling that how the change in climate is making our
Change,
solutions
yeah.
like it's not.
Now
you know,
it is
effective.
no longer feasible because
not
of
feasible.
this
So what are the
climate
new
change thing.
solution? If we develop this new solution, then we change in the current policies, and then they will implement it. Then the people will benefit our research.
True, true. So we were discussing this. It's not about novelty. I was just recollecting something we discussed yesterday regarding this chat GPT and huge computational.
computer.
I mean, it requires a lot of water to cool this down.
Yeah.
Right. And
So this
yeah, so
I
I read this like few days ago, and then we are actually using huge supercomputers, high performance computers, and that generates lot of heat, consumes lot of energy, right? So then aren't we also indirectly contributing to climate change with our research? So that is there. I'm just asking
Yeah.
a person. I mean, like what, how to interpret this more of like, and also is capitalistic solutions the solutions to all problems? For example, like we already are facing the climate dilemma, right? So should we invest more in the computational resources and do more computing work, or should we directly implement the existing solutions? Like how more should we leverage the computational capability in doing more research? So this is something I've been thinking about, because as we use more and more, then we are actually contributing more and more to emissions.
Emissions are there definitely, but you cannot just say like let's stop doing that.
Yeah.
So you cannot do right. There has to be some balance,
Middle grounds. Right?
middle grounds.
Mhm.
So obviously anything like everything we are means emitting a lot of carbon for each and everything. Whether what the cloth you are wearing, it has
True,
gone
true.
through some process. It has
It's
emitted,
like
right?
10%.
10% of total global emissions come from the
textile industry.
textile
I
industry.
just read this in
Okay.
this conference happening down in the display board. It's written there.
So that's if we stop
So-
wearing clothes, then we reduce the
No, no,
10%. But this is not the solution.
Not a
That's not a
solution.
solution.
Okay.
Going back to the
So
caveman kind of
what
life,
we can do,
you can actually solve the solution.
efficiency is the term for to solutions lies in the efficiency. Like if we have 1000 computers in IIT Bombay, how, like first we have to understand how many computers required, and whatever the available resources are enough or not. If they are enough, they are working efficiently. If someone needs a computer, then it should have one computer or two computers.
To this, I would also like
Very true.
wanna
Like,
add
there
like,
should be
And the
very-
availability
Yeah.
also should be democratized.
Dem-
Akshay, every year this mobile company launch the new version of the phone, and people are
Yes.
buying it, right? So is it like, if you think how much resource it takes to produce one mobile, and every year people with a growing economy, they are able to buy the new stuff, so they are buying a lot of phones
True.
every year because they are upgrading. So here also something we have to think on, like
We can't tell the
It's so
companies that
complicated.
don't give
It's
don't
very
launch
complicated.
the
yeah, it's complicated, man.
updated version because it makes people to buy new things. We
Yeah.
can't tell them, but what we can do that we can make people aware that what is the cost.
Yeah.
It should be come organically from your mind that, oh, I think I will satisfy with this version. I don't need it. If you need it, you should buy. If you don't need it, and for sake of show off or like if trend is there, like what people are doing,
So the idea is
following
to
the
become
trend.
less selfish. I mean,
Less self.
So-
and more
More
considerate.
considerate.
And to spread awareness.
The point you are mentioning, if everybody start thinking like that, then this company will be in huge loss.
No, they have to find new solution. This is not our concern, or it's not society's concern. That's the company is
They
making
will-
loss. Okay. If company is making loss, this is the company's concern.
It's against the capitalism socialism
No.
argument. Like
So they need to find new business
So the
ideas.
complexity is so
Why
high
we-
and deep. Like just talking about ChatGPT and computation, which we use to again solve the climate solution, climate problem.
You're
Is like
You're solving.
Yeah, because why I brought the ChatGPT narrative is because we are extensively using that for our research nowadays, right? And we can.
it has actually created a revolution, I would say.
True. I mean, it's a
It is
pre-ChatGPT
So
era and a post.
when you guys came to know about ChatGPT, because it's get launched in 2019
Yes.
November.
Yeah, 22.
22 November.
23.
Yeah, 23.
23.
Yeah, I mean, it's not been much time.
23
No,
November.
no, 22 November.
22 November.
Yeah.
I wrote, I was visiting my old textbook, and there I have written one line like ChatGPT 4 is there to solve all your problem, and the date I saw was like January 2023.
Okay.
So it took me 2-3 months to actually come to use.
Yeah,
What
true.
about you guys? Like, were you
Yeah.
like just launched and you started using
Yeah,
it?
because my roommate was so aware about this AI thing, and when that day launched, second day we got access. Oh, okay, yeah, this. thing.
That's a great thing. Yeah, we are still using ChatGPT 3.5, and I mean the Western countries could be using 4, so there's a huge disparity there also. So
Country level
That's
disparity,
another
we
topic to be
understand that it's
discussed.
come from the some
Yeah.
historical what colonization or some
Yeah.
different thing. But for inside our institutional level,
Yeah,
equality,
we
equity,
should.
we can maintain, we can demonstrate how equality and equity looks like in operation, not in the books or in the theories or everyone like our leaders are going on the mic and telling that we follow equality, we want justice.
No, it should be
not.
practiced.
It should be in operationalized.
this
If
is
we-
one thing I also agree to. I mean the
You
resources
see the
can be.
operation, everyone has same, not the same PC, but as per their requirement. If someone has the required computational power, they should access. If they don't want, they can use simple
True.
desktop.
So the idea is to share the information. Like information is not just something that belongs to a particular person.
Yes.
If you have information and I have information, we should be committed to share the information. So that would, ease
Second
things.
thing, like this makes me remind that we should have some at least basic, not course anything or like paper, just basic training. What research ethics, specifically if we are doing in climate research, which is more responsible.
True,
and
it's more
Ethics
responsible.
It's
is
more
very
responsible
important,
research.
very important.
We are
You
telling
can-
adaptation and mitigation. And
I think for the
science
benefit
process.
of time, I don't know,
Yeah.
because I think we should continue from here itself because it's getting more and more interesting. So I'll just note this down, like climate ethics, and we'll start from here
Okay.
in the next video. So this was a demo run, a test dose, I would say. So
Even
I'll just,
I
I don't know if
thank
it's,
you for
if it's
Chai was sponsoring our talk.
okay, guys, it's time to say goodbye. We'll meet you guys in the next video. Bye.